We all do life, and now you are doing life with Maria and Chad.
Quick confession for you, Maria. I am obsessed with the weird news that's out there. Like, the weirder, the better. There's a story that we got to talk about today that involves a pickle. That's all I'll tell you right now. That's coming up on today's podcast.
A pickle?
Yeah, you heard me. So, Maria, how was your day yesterday?
I had a day off.
Yeah.
Finally. Uh-huh. And I spent the entire day making friendship bracelets.
What are you? Why? You know what? This reminds me. Over the weekend, I was at your house. You have a million bracelets on your arms. I asked if you ever take them off. You said no. Yep, there you are. You can watch it on YouTube right now. You can see Maria. Hold them up one more time. Let me see what colors you got. You got pink. Yep. Go to the Doing Life with Maria and Chad on YouTube. You can see the videos of Maria's bracelets. So why are you making friendship bracelets? You're not 8 years old.
I have a lot of friends.
Okay.
I think what it is I need something creative to do.
Crafty?
Now that we're not on the radio anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, I need to have some kind of outlet. So I bought a ton of paracord and like Chinese knotting thread to make bracelets. And so I spent all day yesterday. I made about 6 of them. One of them I threw away because it didn't turn out well. But I made them, and every time I make one, I'd show it to my husband. I'm like, hey, honey, look at this one. I'm getting better. Oh, look at this one. I added beads. And he cared less. He was just like, I'm not going to wear them. I don't care. But
that's the proper reaction.
It's a nice outlet.
Yeah, I get why you're into that. I'm just not a crafty person, so it's hard for me to understand it. I'm sure your husband as well. So do you take them to work and give them to people? Like, who are the recipients? Because I was at your house. I wasn't offered a friendship bracelet.
Well, crap. Now I feel bad.
I don't want one.
I
don't want one. I just saying I wasn't offered one.
Well, I'll make some for your wife and daughter. How's that?
There you go. They will probably appreciate them.
So I did. I gave them to some people at work when I first started, the paracord ones.
Yeah.
And then when we were camping over Memorial, I brought my little jig and all the supplies, and I was making them for people, my friends that we were camping with. And there was a group, Cindy, her son, Jeffrey, brought his girlfriend and some other friends. And I didn't have time to make their bracelets. And they kind of called me out on it. They're like, so yeah, camping's over. I didn't get my bracelet. And so that's what I did yesterday. I made 5 of them, put them in a little baggie, and Eric's going to deliver them today when he sees Cindy. So
when is the end of friendship bracelet season? Are we nearing the end?
Oh, I have. Hold on.
Do you have a list? Oh, no. Look at this.
See all this string? I have all that to use.
Wow. Okay.
I have a lot to use.
Well, Oh, no. Go ahead.
Well, last night, then after the whole friendship thing, I told my husband, I'm like, I'm really in the need of a margarita. Uh-huh. And Chad, my husband used to be a bartender, and he makes some damn good margaritas, let me tell you.
Everything he makes, I'll drink, which is not saying too much, but he does a great job.
So I had bought this giant bag of limes from Costco, mm-hmm. and we had, I always say this wrong, Grand Marnier.
Uh-huh, you got it, yeah.
We were calling it Grand Marinara last night.
That sounds like you had a lot of these margaritas. Uh-huh.
So this is how he makes them. Just lime juice, uh-huh. The tequila, and this Grand Marinara.
Okay.
And we made plenty of margaritas last night. And it was really the best night. I mean, we've been married 22 years. We sat on the patio. We had music playing. We were making margaritas. Got to the point where we got a little tipsy and we threw each other in the pool.
Oh boy.
And I mean, it was just a really fun night.
So it's just 2 of you. Your daughter, Lucy, she was there over the weekend, but she was not at your house. So you guys all alone with some tequila and Grand Marinara and having a good time. I like that. And, that's how you should celebrate every Wednesday night.
Well, sounds like a great night.
Uh-oh.
Until I threw up.
Did you really? From drinking?
Yeah, but I don't, I'm sure that, I mean, the short answer is yes.
Yeah.
But I think it was all that lime juice, like all that acidic in my stomach.
Right.
We went into the bedroom thinking we'd, waka.
Yeah.
And then the next morning, my husband goes, "Why didn't we have sex last night?" And I go, "Because I threw up." He goes, "Oh, yeah."
Oh, yeah, that happened. Well, you feel better today because
But
of it.
I really, yeah, I do. I mean, I've been drinking lots of water today. I'm a little dehydrated. But I really think it wasn't necessarily the alcohol that did it.
Right.
Although, like I said, it may have a little bit of something to do with it. I think it was really just all that fresh lime juice. The good news is I'm not going to have scurvy for a while, though.
You are covered. I'm still thinking of Grand Marinara. That's so funny. I saw something in the news that I had to share with you on today's podcast. This is, I don't really know anybody that's graduating from college or high school this year. Do you?
From high school, yes. I know there's quite a few neighborhood kids
I guess maybe
in our group, yes.
Some Facebook people that I know. I've seen some stuff online. But a lot of people have been recording their commencement addresses virtually because they're not getting together. For example, like Oprah did her super boring commencement address, and that was posted, and you can watch that if you want. But I saw this one, and it was very unexpected. That's why I wanted to play it for you today. It's the stars of Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
Oh, my God. How fun.
So do you remember that movie, right?
Oh, totally.
So it came out in 89. Keanu Reeves, Alex Winter, and they went to San Dimas High School. So this is their commencement address for everybody listening or watching right now that's graduating.
Hi, I'm Alex Winter.
Hi, I'm Keanu Reeves.
And we know it's a tough time right now and that you're having to do this virtual graduation. We want to wish you the best of luck moving forward.
Yeah, congratulations to the graduating class of 2020. Well done.
San Dimas High School football does roll.
Rules!
But most importantly, we wanted to tell you to be excellent to each other.
And party on.
It's so stupid, but I just thought it was kind of funny.
I was waiting for the swing.
Yeah, well, I think they're working on a sequel, right? That was like in the works, and then I think that's now shelved until next year because of the theaters. Do you see AMC is possibly closing their doors?
I saw that. I mean, they make their money. I don't think movie theaters don't make their money on the movie. Don't they make their money on the popcorn and the soda?
But they're closed. You know what I mean? They're not making that money right now. I don't know. I mean, I know Harkins is still closed here locally, all their theaters, because that's where I go most of the time. But yeah, it's tough times. And we've talked about this on some of the podcasts leading up to today about how we were let go from our job, and a lot of people are displaced. People are working from home. Your life is kind of upside down. I was looking online on businessinsider.com. Don't ask me how I got there. I was following links and all of a sudden I got there. But I found something that I wanted to pass along today. It's 9 signs that you might just be successful. Kind of an uplifting thing, with all the crazy news that's going on right now. So 9 signs, and tell me if some of these things can't relate to you, Maria.
Okay.
You're no longer the center of the universe. Let me read this to you. We all know successful people who act like they're the center of the universe. It's their world and blah, 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 blah. That's one of the things you have to realize to kind of move on and seek success. Staying positive. I know it's easier said than done, but
yes.
Real success means always being on the bright side and believing that you have the power to make even a bad situation better. There's some really good stuff in here. That failure isn't forever. Isn't that true? I mean, every time you're throwing a curveball in life, whether it's professional or personal, sometimes it leads to something better, right?
Yeah, you would certainly hope so. And it does. I mean, with the cliche, when a door closes, another one opens kind of thing. Yeah.
Keeping things in perspective is super important. This is great. Ask for help when you need it. Refusing to ask for help is like the biggest downfall for a lot of people because they just think they're above it. But don't be afraid to ask for help whatever your situation is. This is great too. You realize that life isn't a zero-sum game. When I read that the first time, I'm like, what? Zero-sum game? What do they mean by that?
I don't understand that one.
So it's not that life is a seesaw. So if somebody has big success, that doesn't mean you suffer success in that same proportion. If that makes sense, You got to be happy for people that are doing well because that doesn't mean you can't do well, if that makes sense. You can tell the difference between drama and excitement. I think that we can both relate to that with past work situations. You no longer care what other people think. Easier said than done.
That one's a hard one for me because I do care what people think.
Yeah, I think that's one you got to let go if you can, or as much as possible. There's a couple more here. You accept what you can't change and change what you can. I know these are all very loaded, but something to keep in mind. And then I want to read this last part to you because I thought it was really good. It's called Bringing It All Together. There's no sense in feeling like a failure just because you think you have a better job, a bigger house, or a nicer car. Real success comes from the inside, and it's completely independent of circumstance. I think that's pretty good.
That one's deep.
That one's deep. That's a lot, pretty heavy stuff. But I saw that, and I'm like, I know that there are people that watch and listen to this podcast that are in similar situations to us. Other radio people, we know that because that's been our industry. But if that helps you, again, that's on the Business Insider website if you want to check that out. Do you have anything lighter to talk about today, Maria? Sorry to bring the room down, but
no, it was actually really good. But now I'm thinking, real success really comes from inside. You have to be happy, and
it is
right,
it is deep, and that's not something that you can easily digest. So if you want to message us on any of our platforms, Spotify, YouTube, whatever, we'll send you that list if you want that.
So on a lighter note, everybody's quarantined. I read we spend way more time on screens right now because of quarantine. And I have this friend who was complaining to me that she never got an ant farm when she was a kid. And I know it's weird, but
we talked about friendship
parents...
bracelets and now ant farms today. I did not expect these conversations, but I like it.
My friend was like, my mom and dad never let me have an ant farm. And I'm like, well, buy one. You're an adult.
Yeah.
So during quarantine, she's like, you're right. I'm going to get that darn ant farm. So she ordered herself an ant farm. Of course, it got delivered by Amazon.
Yeah.
And I asked her, how's it going? How's the ants? And she just started laughing. She goes, that was the biggest disappointment of my entire life. I think she had all these grand expectations. And so she gets this plastic box with a bunch of sand in it, and the ants died. And then she felt, like she was the giant looking in on these dead ants, and she felt all guilty. And she just said, you want it so bad. And then it's a big disappointment. And she's like, you know what? I wish I would have never bought it.
Can I ask some dumb questions? Because I've never had an ant farm. What is the upside? What do you just watch them walk around?
I guess.
You watch them
I've never had one either.
Yeah. I mean, the ants in our front yard, I try to get rid of. I mean, I put the poison out to get, I don't want them. And then people are ordering them from Amazon. Well,
I think people, like the kids, like to see the trails that they make. I mean, it's pretty intricate. I don't know. I think she just thought she wanted it and it didn't go well.
I just sold our ants DVD on the Facebook Marketplace. So I think I'm ridding my life of all things ants. I do have a relatable story to that. This is something we talked about on a few podcasts ago. Remember I was trying to get those Brooks running shoes? And it was a website that was fake. And then they stole my money in two places, on my credit card and on my PayPal. Did I tell you this story?
Yes, you did. No, but then you thought it was a big scam, but then you got a notification that the shoes were sent.
So it's a scam. In short, it's a scam. So what they did, they're smart in the way that they've scammed me. I placed the order, they charged me in two places, and then when PayPal tried to ask them about this thing that they were selling, the shoes, they asked if they had shipping information. So they gave shipping information, which had a number, which is tracked on USPS.com. But that number proves that they printed a shipping label, and that's as far as they went. They never actually shipped the item. So that all that does is buy them time to keep my money. And I don't know if I'm going to get my money back yet. I think I might be out $130 or whatever for those shoes. So
I'm so bummed for you.
Yeah, it's been frustrating. Good times. One last thing to share today on the podcast. This is well, it's not completely funny, but just take it from that perspective when you hear this story. This happened in Massachusetts. A man is facing an assault charge, which is never funny, right?
No.
It's what he threw out of his moving vehicle at a highway worker that they didn't know at first what it was. Okay, so this hit the highway worker, caused him some pain. The item that was thrown from the car, you want to guess what it was, or have you seen this story?
I haven't seen the story. I'm just going to say shoes because we were just talking about shoes.
Not shoes. A Massachusetts man is facing an assault charge after he allegedly threw a large pickle from his moving vehicle at a highway worker and actually injured the guy because you're driving down the road with a large pickle in your hand and whip it out at somebody, and 34-year-old dude's in trouble.
How hurt was this guy?
I don't know.
Hit by a pickle.
I guess it could be almost. I mean, I don't know how large this pickle was, if you know what I mean. I mean, like a rock. Like if it's. I don't know. There's no pickle, or there's no picture of the pickle with this story, but I thought we'd end today with that. There's tons of places to follow us. Of course, on Instagram. What's our Instagram handle there?
It's our Instagram is Maria and Chad. Maria and Chad. That's our Instagram.
And then on our podcast, you can listen now on Spotify and Google Podcasts and iTunes soon. We're still waiting for them to approve us.
Oh, fingers crossed. Come on, guys.
Should
this
be
is good
soon.
stuff.
And we want to thank Dan, who every time we do a podcast, he puts together the video portion with the audio so you can watch our podcast on YouTube right now. If you want to go to YouTube and search for Doing Life with Maria and Chad, the good thing when you go there is if you sign up, subscribe to it, and set up notifications when there's a new podcast, your phone will go, hey, there's something to watch. So.
Oh, and Dan, I'll send you a friendship bracelet.
Yes, Dan, stay safe there in Iowa with all your coronavirus cases. But thanks again for listening to our podcast. Again, this is Doing Life with Maria and Chad. We'll talk to you soon.